Mr. Chair, good afternoon everyone. Nais ko pong i-address itong incident na ito on a wider perspective. We need to be stringent in the entry of goods. And the office which is principally responsible is the Bureau of Customs. Although, I wish to solicit also the attention of PPA, Coast Guard, kasi mas malimit po, it is by way of marine transportation. If we will only be stringent on the regulation and control on the use of our territorial waters, I think we will be able to deter the entry of illegal drugs. And with that, the PIDEA can focus only with respect to the Shabu laboratories inside the country. So with that, I have questions for BOC. Patungkol po ito doon sa 3.8 billion worth of Shabu in Mexico, Pampanga. May we be clarified, Mr. Chair, sino po ang shipper ng illegal drugs? May we ask the BOC, Mr. Chair, because I understand that this information are disclosed in the bill of lading and in the manifest. Sino po ang shipper at what is the exact address of this shipper, Mr. Chair?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. As per BL po, ang shipper ay PYS International Agency Limited with an address ng 11-111-544 Samay, Bangkok, Thailand.
Thank you for that information. At this point, may we ask, Mr. Chair, sino naman po ang importer? And can you provide also the address?
Per bill of lading and inward foreign manifest, the consignee is a local consumer with an address of 1405 Maria Sangkay Street, Binondo, Manila.
So does it mean, Mr. Chair, that we have only one importer and consignee? May we confirm from BOC, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Chair, as per documents available po.
And knowing the consignee, sino naman po ang ating custom broker?
Wala pong broker na naka-assign dito, Mr. Chair.
If there is no custom broker assigned, may we know who facilitated the importation or entry of these goods through the BOC, Mr. Chair?
Actually, Mr. Chair, wala pong entries po, walang judgment, meaning wala pong nag-file o nag-process.
And per your existing rules, Mr. Chair, pinapayagan po ba talaga ng BOC na wala pong custom broker doon sa bill of lading before facilitating this bill of lading?
So, as per inward foreign manifest po, hindi po nilalagay doon kung sino broker. It does not mandatory po. Nakalagay lang po doon shipper, shipper, consignee, or if any, meron pong notified party. In this case po, wala pong notified party pa.
I just want to confirm the statement of the BOC na hindi mandatory ang custom broker sa entry of goods. Is that your statement?
No po, ang ibig ko po sabihin na sa manifest, sa inward foreign manifest po, hindi po necessary nakalagay doon ang broker. Usually po ang nakalagay doon yung consignee or the importer itself. Tapos po ang kung meron mang notified party, nilalagyan po. Pero Ang broker po, hindi po. Minsan meron, minsan wala.
But per the existing rules of the BOC, may we ask for the last time, mandatory po ba o hindi na may custom broker ang entry of goods?
Pampiling po ng pampiling ang filing of entry po, goods declarations. Um, Depende po sa consignee kung kukuha po siya ng broker o hindi po.
Mr. Chair, may we remind the BOC to be guided by the existing rules of the BOC? The questions is clear. Ayon po ba sa existing rules or law ng BOC, mandatory po ba o hindi na mayroong custom broker when you are facilitating entry of goods?
As per CMTA po ngayon po, ang broker po hindi na po required under CMTA. Declarant na po. Ibig sabihin po kung sino inauthorize ng importer ang pwede maging declarant.
Okay, that is noted, BOC. Sino naman po ang hauler or forwarder nitong mga goods na ito from the port to the warehouse? And please provide their address as well.
Your Honor, wala pong entries kaya wala pong available na yung ano po yung sinabi niya. Hauler po.
But it is confirmed that this 3.8 worth of shabu were found in the warehouse already. Tama po ba yon, Mr. Chair?
To clarify, sa warehouse po ng SBI mo po, sa SBITC po, which is the designated examination area po.
Who designated this warehouse to be the what do you call this, unloading place of this 3.8 worth of shabu? Is it the law enforcement already or still the consignee? Paano po napunta yun dun sa warehouse na yon? Is it upon the direction of the consignee or is it upon the direction of our law enforcement agency?
Mr. Chair, good noon once again. As per coordination with all the law enforcement agencies, it is a pre-designated area. Thank you.
In other words, it is with the coordination already with the PIDEA and the NBI and the NICA. Reason why it was placed in, what is the name of the warehouse again? Empire 999 Realty Corporation. Do you confirm this? The statement of the BOC, Mr. Chair, earlier is they were placed in that warehouse upon the coordination with the law enforcement agency. So may I confirm this from NICA, PIDEA, and NBI? Ito po ba'y upon your instruction that the BOC led this illegal shabu to this warehouse?
Your Honor, sa loob po ng SBMA po yung sinasabi yung warehouse po.
Yes, and if it is inside that SBMA, who chose that warehouse?
Designated examination area po yung warehouse na yun.
And it is where the law enforcement agency found this 3.8 worth of shabu.
Before a control delivery po, doon mo na in-examine po, Your Honor.
Ang ibig sabihin po ba, Mr. Chair, lahat ng dumadating na goods ay dito sa warehouse na ito pumupunta? Because you were saying that this is the designated examination area.
Yes, Your Honor.
You are referring to the warehouse owned by 88 Empire Realty Corporation.
No, Your,
99 Empire.
no, Your Honor, I'm referring to the warehouse of Subic Bay International Container Terminal po.
Okay. So what is the relation of this warehouse owned by Empire 999 with SPMA warehouse? Parehas po ba ito o magkaiba po ba ito?
No relation po, Your Honor.
It appears from the records na ito pong 3.8 ay doon nakita sa Empire 999 na warehouse. Tama po ba yon, Mr. Chair?
That's correct, Your Honor, Mr.
Alin
Chair.
naman po yung sinasabi nating designated inspection area kung saan dinala?
Yung po yung nabanggit ng ating kasama sa BOC. Doon po muna siya dinala upon pag-arrival po ng container.
What is the name of this warehouse?
Designated examination area po sa Subic Bay International Terminal.
Ibig sabihin po ay, because this is a controlled delivery, dun muna po siya dinala sa SBMA warehouse where you did the inspection. Tama po yon?
Tama po, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Kailan po ba ginawa yung inspection?
September 22 po, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
At kailan naman po siya dinala dun sa Empire 999 warehouse?
September 24 po.
September 24. Kanina po tinanong na rin ng ating mga ginagalang na congressman, sino po ang warehouse man nitong Empire 999?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, wala po siya doon.
At sino pong pumili nitong Empire 999?
Again, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, we will gladly answer during the executive session.
We understand that, Mr. Chair. In order to give us a better picture of what happened, Mr. Chair, may I respectfully move that we invite the personalities which were part of the transportation of these goods, illegal drugs, if possible from the shipper to importer/consignee, if we can disclose if there is a custom broker, if we have a hauler, forwarder, and the warehouse man. I think it is very hard to conceive that we will be placing these goods inside a warehouse without the knowledge at least of a warehouse man. Sino pong kausap natin doon? Lahat po ng warehouse ay may warehouse man. Hindi po yan binabantayan ng may-ari, but at least there is a warehouse man. Paano po nakapasok without the warehouse man?
Excuse me, Your Honor, is that a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chair. A motion to invite the shipper, the importer, the consignee, the hauler forwarder, the custom broker, and the warehouse man for our next schedule of investigation, Mr. Chair.
Okay, there is a motion duly seconded to send out invitations to the aforementioned names and personalities. Hearing no objection, the motion is approved.
Last question, Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
Kanina po I was listening to my colleagues. Meron pong 4 na pagkakataong dapat na disclose itong description and volume of goods subject of our investigation today. One is the bill of lading. Second is the derogatory report. Third is the warrant of seizure. And fourth is the inventory of seizure. Ang question ko po, yun po bang description and volume of goods in the bill of lading is consistent to the information in the derogatory report? Mr. Chair?
Yes, Your Honor, all this information that we are requesting to be answered will be discussed thoroughly and extensively during our executive session. So if the gentle lady from Batangas would allow the chair to ask her to wrap up the question so that we can continue with our executive session. But in the meantime, since this is a working lunch, so everybody can have your lunch prepared by Congressman Don Gonzales. So, yeah, no. So we can have lunch while we continue our questioning in this committee hearing. So, Congresswoman Luistro, please wrap up. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Of course, we are supporting the idea of having an executive session to finally shed light to these two incidents leading to the confiscation of illegal shabu and suspected shabu. I just want to give emphasis to this point, Mr. Chair, that we need to pay ample attention to the description and the volume of the goods as described. One, in the bill of lading. Second, in the derogatory report. Third, in the warrant of seizure. And fourth, in the inventory of seizure. I wish to be satisfied, Mr. Chair, na sana po yung bill of lading at yung derogatory report, sana po na-cover yung buong shipment para wala nang nag-leak from this importation, which possibly are still outside circulating already in our country. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Congresswoman Luistro. Since we just concluded the first round, we can now go to proceed with the executive session. And the
Chair.
chair would only allow that if there is a motion from
Mr.
any
Chair.
of the member. Congressman Bustos.
To fully engage the resource persons and thoroughly solicit answers, I move that we continue holding this committee hearing into a executive session.
There is a motion.
Mr. Chair, just a brief interpolation, konti lang before we go into executive
Okay, with the
session. Konti lang
indulgence
to.
of Congressman
Anyway, madali
Bustos.
lang to.
Congressman Pimentel, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to direct my question to Barangay Captain Bautista again. Cap, aside from being a barangay captain, meron ho ba kayong negosyo? Anong pinagkikitaan po ninyo?
Your Honor, ano po kami, farmers, then I'm a civil engineer po, ako minsan nakakuha ng trabaho po.
Mr. Chair, hindi po ba kayo nangungontrata?
Pero po akong construction company, Your Honor.
Ayun nga po ang tatanong ko. Yung susunod ko pong tanong, gaano po katotoo na ikaw ho daw ang nangontrata ng warehouse doon sa Empire 999?
Wala po ako kinontratang warehouse po doon, Your Honor.
I remember Barangay Captain Bautista that you are under oath and under a penalty of perjury and under our house rules, we can cite you for contempt. Ulitin ko po, kayo po ba ang nangontrata doon sa warehouse ni Mr. Willie Ong?
Your Honor, wala po akong ginawang warehouse kay Mr. William, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, for the information of everyone, we conducted our own monitoring. Ang usap-usapan po doon sa barangay, kayo daw po ang nangontrata ng warehouse.
Wala po, Your Honor, doon sa warehouse.
Anyway, Mr. Chair, I'd like to direct my next question to Mayor Tumang. Mayor Tumang, sino po ba itong si Mr. Roy Gomez?
Sa empleyado po dati ng munisipyo po.
Hanggang ngayon po ba, Mr. Chair, empleyado pa itong si Mr. Roy Gomez?
O terminus po yun, Your Honor.
So wala na ho siya sa munisipyo po ngayon.
Wala na po ngayon. Yeah.
Anong trabaho niya, Mayor Tumang, nung sa panahon nun ninyo si Mr. Roy Gomez?
Sa ano po? Part po sa GSO.
But he has the trust and confidence galing po sa inyo po, no? Balita ko po, parang executive assistant po niyo itong si Mr. Roy Gomez.
Hindi naman po, Your Honor.
So wala po siya kung sinasabi ho niyo ninyo, Mr. Chair, na nasa PGSO siya or rather a GSO. So wala siya po sa opisina ng assessor po.
Wala po, Your Honor.
Ngayon, ang tanong ko po, Mayor Tumang, because I have a copy of a notice of assessment from the assessor's office signed by the assessor, Mr. Reyes. The notice of assessment was directed to Empire 999 Realty Corporation. Doon po sa notice of assessment, ang pinagtatakahan ko lang po, bakit si Mr. Roy Gomez ang nag-receive? Siya pong pumirma.
Sa assessment po, Your Honor.
Yes. May ina-assess po yun. Ina-assess po yung mga taxes or something. Pwede ko po ipapaprint
hindi
yun
po.
para makita ho ninyo yung...
Kung minsan po, Your Honor, nag-aente po sa pag-process ng mga documents sa pag-transfer ng title. Ang alam ko po, ganun po, Your Honor.
so from being a GSO officer,
Ahente pa.
ahente ho siya.
Sideline po, nagpa-process po ng mga documents.
So meaning, kung ganun po, kasi siya nagpadala nung siya ho ang nag-receive, siya ang pumirma in behalf ng Empire 999 Realty. So, ibig po sabihin, based on your statement, siya nag-facilitate nung lupa ng Empire 999 Realty. Ganun po ba, Mayor Tumang?
Hindi ko po masyadong alam po yung iba.
But Mayor Tumang, bakit po inalaw ninyo si Mr. Roy Gomez na mag-sideline po siya? Municipal employee po siya.
Personal po niya po yun, Your Honor. Hindi ko na po siya nakokontrol regarding on that. Kasi po siguro maliit po yung sahod niya kaya kung minsan nakakapag-sideline po.
Nagpaalam po ba sa iyo, Mr. Chair, si Mr. Roy Gomez na siya ay pipirma mag-receive doon sa Notice of Assessment for Empire Realty?
Wala ko pong alam, Your Honor.
Nagpaalam po ba siya, Mr. Chair, na siya ay mag-aayos ng lupa para kay Mr. Willie Ong, Mr. Chair?
Wala ko pong alam, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I think this Mr. Willie Ong is a main character in this case. He's one of the central figures. And I strongly suggest, since we have already invited him, or rather this committee has already invited him, but unfortunately he did not show up, I strongly suggest that this committee should issue a subpoena to Mr. Willie Ong. Because kailangan natin siya ang isang aktor dito eh. Yung iba dito supporting actor lang eh. So I strongly suggest na kailangan natin ng presensya ni Mr. Willie Ong during the next hearing. Also,
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Ako.
since the Honorable Pimentel is not a member of this committee and is not allowed to file a motion, may this representation move that we invite Mr. Willie Ong in the next hearing of this committee. So move, Mr. Chair.
Second motion.
Yeah,
Mr.
there's a
Chair.
motion duly seconded to invite Mr. Willie Ong in this committee hearing, in the subsequent committee hearings of this committee. And we direct the committee secretary to issue a subpoena upon the approval of the office of the speaker to the said personality. The motion is carried.
Mr. Chair, may I know from the COMSEC whether Mr. Goy Gomez has been invited today? Since Mr. Chair, the same likewise, Mr. Goy Gomez has not showed up, may I also suggest that he be issued a subpoena for him to attend during the next hearing, Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Ako.
again, for the same reason, may respectfully move that we invite Mr. Gomez or issue a subpoena so that Mr. Gomez will attend the next hearing of this committee. So move, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion to invite Mr. Roy Gomez to the subsequent committee hearings of the Committee on Dangerous Drugs. Duly seconded. Hearing
Second
no
motion.
objection, the motion is carried. But let me correct earlier my ruling as to the issuance of a subpoena. The procedure is we will issue an invitation, and if the invitation is not honored, then the committee is compelled to issue a subpoena. In this case, we issued an invitation. We sent out invitation to Mr. Willie Ong and Mr. Roy Gomez, but there was no acknowledgement on their part. Therefore, the committee would seek the approval of the Office of the Speaker to issue a subpoena to the said personalities. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, did we invite Mr. Jonathan Tan, the chairman of SBMA?
Yes, he was invited, and former head of SBMA was likewise invited. Is Mr. Jonathan Tan present from SBMA?
Mr.
And-
Chair, considering that the case involves Port of Subic and Mr. Jonathan is the chairman, I again strongly suggest that we issue or this committee issue a subpoena to Mr. Jonathan Tan so he could shed light on some of the questions that needs to be answered, Mr. Chair.
Okay, likewise, a motion.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
for the same reason, may I move that we invite Mr. Jonathan Tan in the next hearing of this committee. So move, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
emotion.
Are there anyone else who we want to invite so that it's just going to be in one motion?
So far, Mr. Chair, yun lang po ang request ko po, Mr. Chair.
Okay, since there is a motion duly seconded to invite Mr. Jonathan Tan in our next hearing of the Committee on Dangerous Drugs, hearing no objection, the motion is carried.
Mr. Chair, last few questions. Sandali na lang po ito. To Barangay Captain Bautista, it shows that you have had a few conversations with Mr. Willie Ong. Paano ho kayo nag-uusap? Sa personal po, sa text, o tinatawagan po niyo siya?
Your Honor, no, minsan po kasi pumunta sila ng barangayol. Yun po, nag-letter of intent sila na kumuha ng building permit. Doon po namit sa barangayol, Your Honor.
But I'm very sure, Mr. Chair, na pagkatapos ninyo nagkausap ng personal, may mga follow po yun ng mga mga tanong-tanong. So you could have probably nag-text po kayo, Mr. Chair.
Your Honor, bali po pinakilala niya yung secretary niya. Yun na lang po naglalakad ng mga papeles nila.
So hindi kayo nagte-text, Mr. Chair, hindi kayo nagtatawagan?
Minsan po tumatawag kung nagpa-follow up lang po, Your Honor.
Kung marapatin sana ninyo, Barangay Captain, Mr. Chair, payag ba kayo na i-submit yung cellphone nyo for forensic investigation? Makita lang po namin ano yung pinag-uusapan nyo ni Mr. William.
Payag po ako, Your Honor.